Okay, so it's currently the 23rd of November, which just means that you still can't bust for the next 7 days. And yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Anyways, I just wanted to make this pretty short video for all of you that actually think that, this challenge is actually important. If you think that No Nut November is something that you should really take to your heart and that it is actually important in any way, then I guess you're actually very wrong, bro. Because I mean, it's nice to just be able to say, yeah, bro, I passed No Nut November this year. But let me say this, the whole point of NoFap is to make you spend less time on a shitty, self-destructive habit that fapping is, especially when watching adult films. And by extension, by not spending your time on doing this shitty habit, it then makes you do actually important stuff, which then makes you a much better person. So let me say this, if you've not been doing anything self-improvement related during all of the last 27 days of this challenge, 23, sorry. If you spent all of this time just by saying, yeah, it's the X day of No Nut November and I can't fap, you might think that it is like kind of productive in some ways, but if you've not been doing anything else apart from just counting the days, then you have made a big mistake, and you are making this mistake because No Nut November is still in the air. Also, if you've not been doing anything different than just counting the days, then you most probably have already failed. You most probably already lost. Because now you've figured out that now, once you're not able to fap, you kind of don't have anything else to do. And then it made you relapse. Because you did pretty much nothing apart from scrolling on your phone, which is, by the way, the worst thing you can do on NoFap, to be fair. Because if you're just scrolling through social media, trying your best not to relapse on NoFap, but you get literally bombarded with all of the triggers, like just hoes shaking ass on Insta, that it becomes pretty much impossible for you to pass the challenge. And I'm not even speaking about being on NoFap for real, for longer than the 30 days of a challenge, but for a lifetime, right? No Nut November is just a little fun challenge which you can do. But you know about the end goal of NoFap. The end goal which I know you want to get to. The complete end goal is literally forgetting about NoFap, about fapping, about this whole concept of fucking, doing some weird shit to yourself and by yourself. It's about forgetting that people literally do stuff like this because it's weird. Just not doing it, not being the person that would just fap because it's weird. And only losers do that shit. And later on in this video I will tell you how to actually get to this end goal if you haven't already. Because to be fair, I'm way past the I can't relapse like stage of doing NoFap. I'm just on NoFap normally. And I'm not completely on semen retention, but I don't fap like a little dork. NoFap is pointless if you don't do anything productive with all of the time that you've gained, because let me tell you, I think the biggest benefit of doing NoFap is just getting back all of the time which you would normally waste on doing this trash ass habit that fapping is. And the second biggest benefit which I've experienced myself is that you just stop becoming so fucking weird as a person. If you think about a person that faps 3 times a day, do you think that person is good with girls? Do you think that person is confident around other people? Do you think this guy is good at holding conversations, at holding eye contact? Of course not. He is a social reject. He's weird. And so if you are one of these guys, then getting on NoFap is, I think, the best thing which you can actually do for yourself. Okay, so now I guess let me just tell you straight how to get to the end goal of NoFap, how to complete NoFap, essentially. The best way to cure this addiction is to stop viewing yourself as a person that would normally do that shit. You just have to stop viewing yourself as someone who is actually struggling with this addiction. Even though you might actually be kind of struggling with it because you're trying to get on NoFap and you just keep relapsing. Bro, you have to view yourself as someone who already is just not fapping, who is way past all of the stages of trying to do NoFap, but you view yourself as someone who literally just completed it, who literally just doesn't do it because it's weird. Now, long story short, it actually takes a fuck ton of time and you will be frustrated, but let me tell you something. For me, it took me about 2 years of trying to not do this shit. You know, up until I got to the end goal, the end point, where it's not even a struggle. Like I don't literally, whenever I get an urge, my thoughts don't run to fucking fapping. Whenever I get the urge, I just let the energy be directed towards something else. So it again took me 2 whole years up until I got to this point, and I am now in the best relationship I could ever be in. So I guess the full transformation is there, from the, you know, unconfident wimp that can't speak to women, all the way to this Chad dude with lots of interests, lots of passions, lots of energy, and a loving woman by my side. So if you also really want that for yourself, then you have to make sure that you use the most important tip of this video. If you're still viewing NoFap as a challenge rather than an actual lifestyle, then you are guaranteed to fail. But if you see NoFap as a lifetime, like never-ending goal of self-improvement, when you stop viewing NoFap as this thing to, you know, check off your habit tracker, like I haven't fapped today, but instead viewing it as just weird, like not doing it because it's simply weird and you're not the person that would do it because you're not degenerate, and instead of giving yourself some easy pleasure, you actually want the real deal, like speaking to actual women and, you know, meeting them and shit in person. Yes, this shit happens actually. Remember to stay abnormal.